Alright, Pack, welcome back to another video here on the Dividend Doggo Show on YouTube, and I am bringing you in for the weekly portfolio review. We're going to dive into the portfolio, and we have a special little addition that I've kind of teased for a while now. We're going to get started with the net worth and total portfolio and stocks and cash included kind of reveal. So I've documented everything as of today, which is the 27th. It is early Sunday morning, and I'm getting this kind of prepped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about how the portfolio performed for the week, show you exactly how the stocks are performing overall for the total brokerage account here on M1 Finance. This is a taxable brokerage account meant to bridge the gap for early to retirement for my wife and I. And the goal ultimately is to get this portfolio earning about $80,000 a year. So as you can see, I've kind of scrolled down through the slices, and the pie is basically set up to have these different sectors from the stock market, and I've kind of adjusted and shifted a bunch of them over the past couple of years that I've had this portfolio. So let's go ahead and dive in. You've seen this is the all-time view. We're at about $216,000 in total gains for the portfolio, and we've now earned $57,000 in earned dividends. We're going to be just shy of $60,000 for the end of 2022. That is total earned over the course of the lifetime of this account, which was started in August 6th of 2019. So let's dive in and see how we did for the week. Now you can see right here for the week, we had very little in dividends this week, only about $43.89. It's about 44 bucks, but we had a pretty massive green week across the board here at $10,793.87. This was all just the market gains from the portfolio fluctuation for the week. So I did do a buy this week, first off, and we'll go into that in just a moment. But first thing we're going to do is jump into the Coma Money Pie. Now you can see this is a spoiler alert for next week's video, but I'm buying SCHD. There's a current cash balance. This was the dividend from Citibank. I am investing that straight into SCHD, which had a pretty phenomenal week. It was up $2,500 by itself. Berkshire Hathaway also had a great week. It was up $300. So I'm going to continue to keep plowing money into SCHD until I get that position built up to where I want it to be. I think it's going to land somewhere in the $150,000 to $200,000 range. We'll kind of see how things go, but overall, I love the performance of SCHD and what it does. So finance had a pretty good week. Citibank was down a little bit this week. JP Morgan was up a little bit this week. Bank of America up. Bank of OZK up. And T. Rowe Price up about 2.44%. So overall, finance was in the green total for the week, which is fantastic. Then we have the consumer pie. This is Altria, Home Depot, Coca-Cola, Costco, Lowe's, Target, and PepsiCo. Overall for the week, it was up about $2,500, $2,564. So that's pretty fantastic. And you can see overall, Home Depot was up about 4% this week, and that's pretty incredible. Going into the holiday season, I'm really curious how Target and Home Depot, Lowe's, how those are all going to do. Costco, it's going to be a pretty wild ride, I think, going out the end of this year. Now we have, sorry, that was consumer. We are going on to healthcare. Healthcare was up total 2.84%, about $2,160. Most of that being an AbbVie. It alone was up 2.99% for the week, which is pretty fantastic. Johnson & Johnson was also up for the week, and that's just amazing. I really do need to build up that Johnson & Johnson position a little bit more, although I don't see it having high growth over the next 10 years, especially if they do a spinoff. not 100% not confident if that's going to be a great investment over the long term, but historically they've been a phenomenal investment. In utilities, we have Duke and we have Vistra. Vistra ended up the week 5.11% up, which is pretty phenomenal. And then Duke was up 2.92%. Overall, the utilities pie was up pretty phenomenally. That's amazing. I'm loving that. Overall, I was kind of hoping VST would come back down a little bit for the end of the year so that I could buy some more, but we'll kind of, it is what it is, right? So let's see here. We have monthly dividend stocks. This is BST. I had been adding a bit to BST because it was below my cost basis, and it still is. So I'm actually bringing down my cost average share price. And I'm building this up, and right now it's at about the point where it's going to be building 2 shares a month by itself, if without me even adding anything else to it. So that's pretty awesome. Overall, that tracks the tech sector and has a high expense ratio. So make sure that if you're going to invest in BST, that it is right for you and your portfolio and your risk tolerance, because it has fluctuated a lot for me over the past 3 years that I've been investing in it. So all in all, that brings us into the weekly buy for the week. That was in SCHD. I did about $750. This was a total of 9.59 shares that were added at $78.17. I'm absolutely loving this. I want to keep building up this position, so that's kind of going to be the target from there. Now, for the next part here, we are going to jump into this is the net worth and the total breakdown. Now you can see what percentage is invested in here, and this will give you a really good idea of how the total portfolio looks and cash on hand. So as you can see, I'm keeping currently about 1.8% of our total assets in cash right now. I do not generally keep a whole lot of cash. This does not include money set aside for real estate expenses for that business. This is cash on hand in our checking and high yield savings accounts. This mixed portfolio, this is the Dividend Doggo portfolio. So you've got a really good idea. I show this every week how this is doing. It does make up almost 42% of our total what I consider more liquid assets, which is stock and cash. Then we have Tencent. Tencent makes up 11.7%. This was a much higher portion of the portfolio a little over a year ago. We did sell off several $100,000 of Tencent stock to purchase the house in Washington State last year. So that position also shrunk a lot due to the economy and the changes going on over in China. So it is severely depressed from where it was. It used to make up over a third of our entire portfolio. So I am thankful and grateful on this Thanksgiving weekend that we took a bunch out, sold it, and invested it into real estate assets. And I do consider this property an asset because eventually it will be earning money for us monthly, which should be absolutely fantastic. Now, the next thing we have here is SCHD and ABR. This is an IRA account in M1 Finance, and that is pretty much exactly what's in there. It's just SCHD, it's extra shares, and ABR. Then we have, this is a Morgan Stanley account that was an inherited IRA when my father passed away many years ago. I have never really moved this around, but because he would have been at retirement age, I have to liquidate a portion of the assets every year, and that's just going to roll into the Dividend Doggo portfolio. So I will be paying taxes on that, but it's a very, very small percentage of our total portfolio. So yeah. Total stock, this is the total stock market, the US market, and Disney combined. This was my wife's first IRA account. It is about 10% of our total portfolio here. The F.I.R.E 500 account, this is my wife's current employment portfolio. This is 27%. We have been building this up aggressively. We try to max this account, so I expect this account will get bigger and bigger over the next decade. As we go to look forward to retirement, we're going to continue to contribute to 401k to keep both our tax bill low and just keep compounding and building up extra shares. Now, the S&P 500, this is one of my old work accounts. This is at 4.8%. I may roll this over, but it's currently fine to just be in the S&P 500. I feel completely safe leaving this 5% of our wealth in the S&P 500 account. We technically have two, so we have about 31%, about 32% actually, of our total assets invested in the S&P 500 essentially. Eventually, when this account can be rolled over into an IRA, we will likely write calls against that to provide premium income and then withdraw that premium income. That is kind of the tentative plan for retirement. That is so far out that I'm hoping this is almost $1 million by itself. Now, I did want to kind of show you, because I do believe in transparency on the channel, and I think that a lot of you will get use out of understanding why I invest the way that I do in the M1 Finance Dividend Portfolio by seeing the actual numbers. So what I'm going to do is, for every video through the end of the year here, I'm going to reveal what these actual percentage numbers is. And if you're math whiz, you can break down what each category is, or you can just be excited at the end of every video to kind of see what this breaks down as. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to see if I can reveal the first one. This is my old work account. This is in the S&P 500 directly, and that account is at $66,000 as of today. Now, this account has gone down pretty significantly because the S&P 500 is down for the year, and this money has been invested all year. So I believe this is down a total of like 12% or a little bit more than that for the year. So a lot of these numbers are depressed a bit from what they would have been if I had done this in December of last year. But overall, that is where we're at for the week. And I want to thank every single one of you for watching. I hope that you find this content inspirational. Alright, so I realized in editing that the sheet was not being shown correctly because of the way that I have the filter set up for M1 Finance to not reveal any information that I don't want revealed. So I'm adding this little clip to the end of the video. I don't have enough time to re-edit this morning, so I'm going to go ahead and get this set up and add it on to the end of the clip so that you can see the exact percentages on the left hand side of the screen as well. So thank you very much again for watching, and I will be back at you with another video very soon. I'm thankful for every single one of you that watched this video to the end. Let me know exactly what you were buying for Black Friday. Bonus question.